What is up, guys? It is Joe. We're back. We're talking ball about the Cats, specifically recapping K-State's massive blowout win over West Virginia. 45, I think it was 18, the Cats get it done. A big win for Avery Johnson and the boys, moving down the field with ease. I'm going to talk to you about some thoughts I had coming away from the game, as I do each and every week. If you've enjoyed the videos, be sure and let me know in the comment section. If you haven't, this is your first time, be sure and consider sticking around and hitting that subscribe button, because I make a lot of K-State content each and every week. And the best way to show support to this channel is subscribing, so I do appreciate you guys who help us on that journey. But let me start off here. Now, in this game, there was a kind of an alarming stat at face value. Avery Johnson ran the football 0 times. And I know that if I told you before this week, say, what would happen if Avery didn't rush the football a single time? I think the large majority of our fan base would be panicked and say, well, it's too close for comfort, or there'd be turnovers, or the offense would stall. No, how about perfect day through the air? 300 yards passing, 298 technically for Avery, 3 touchdowns, well on pace to breaking the single-season touchdown passes record in Kansas State history as your first season as a starter. That's pretty damn good, folks. What Avery did on Saturday, went 19 of, I think it was like 29 or something like that, for 298 and 3 scores, 0 turnovers, took care of the football, made highlight after highlight throw. Awesome plays throughout the game. The big one to Jaden Jackson down the field was basically, I mean, he hit the throw perfectly to Jace Brown down the seam. Jace Brown had that one missed. I'm sure he beat himself up about that. No worries. It didn't play a factor on the score, but the dude had an incredible day passing, had a ton of opportunities, missed Swanee on the one ball, but man, what else can you say about this kid? This is his 8th career start, and the kid has a perfect passing day. He's got the 20th best QBR in the nation, and the kid continues to get better every single week. And mind you, I think everybody understood this was a possibility, that, hey, Avery can jump in, hit the ground running, and every single week get better. I think a lot of us panicked when he wasn't immediately perfect, and I'm not saying me, because I was pretty on the bandwagon of Avery's the guy. Give it time, be patient. But it's also understandable to see some people saying, you know what, we might be a year away. I kind of thought that was stupid. I'm like, why don't we just go on a run this year? No, that's a lot easier said than done. But Avery took that message to heart, and he has been balling. I mean, he has been. He's been the best quarterback in his class. I don't think anybody disputes that. Maybe some people argue Nico, but if you look at the stats, Avery has been better. And every single time he takes the field, whether you're in the booth, whether you're in the stands, whether you're watching from the TV at home, whether you're on the couch watching, every single week, it's impossible not to notice that everything this kid does wakes up college football. It wakes up the Big 12 Conference. You come into this game and you say, well, West Virginia's got a good run D. They'll probably make Kansas State struggle through the air. Nope. How about a perfect day? A literal perfect day passing. Avery has no issues, moves down the field with ease, does everything he's expected to and more. That's not an issue. Actually played so well he could come out of the game for Taquan Roberson. Every time this kid takes the field, it's must-see TV. No one's disputing that. The national media isn't disputing that. Everyone wants to see Avery Johnson play football, and you can see why with games like this. Because as he gets to the point where it doesn't matter if it's rushing, if it's passing, when he is perfectly equally dynamic in both, there's not a defense that's going to stop this kid. There's not. I mean, I know there's been some issues on the offense at times where, okay, wide receivers haven't been getting open, or the O-line hasn't done X, Y, Z, or Avery's missed some balls, whatever the case is. That's not the case anymore. The dude has grown so tremendously much since that first UT Martin game, and you have to give your hats off to him. You have to give hats off to the staff, for everybody involved in his recruitment, development, and everything, and so on and so forth. Avery's just a special football player, man. It really is. And it's plays like that 4th and 5 conversion where you see the flash. You see, okay, this is what we're talking about. The 4th and 5 play. K-State's only up a touchdown. This is a massive momentum swing. Avery gets wrapped up, and he said post-game that it was on him, not on Langyang, starting right tackle. And also shout out to Andrew Langyang for stepping in for the injured Carver Willis. A big-time performance for the young kid getting out there and balling. But on this play specifically, Avery said he kind of rolled with the same snap count the entire game. Didn't have much variance to that, which kept guys, tuning up his snap counts so they could get a good jump. This case, beats our guy Langyang off the edge, gets to Avery. Avery spins out, makes a beautiful recovery, keeps his eyes downfield, finds Ty Bowman for a first down, a huge play in the game. Momentum is gone for West Virginia. There is no momentum after that. There isn't. Your quarterback's out for the second half. Your starting left tackle, it's going to be a first rounder or second rounder, is out for the game. One of your best running backs, Jaheim White, is out for the game. There's no energy left. But that play was the dagger. I know people say the dagger is the last touchdown, the thing that puts it out of reach. That play drew every bit of momentum out of that stadium and sent fans home early. It did. And Avery continues to make these plays every week, and it's a spectacle to watch. The team goes 7 of 12 on 3rd down, 1 of 1 on 4th, and it's just at the point where it's like the game is so slow. The game is so slow for Avery Johnson. He's not getting sped up. He's not playing off system. He's not doing whatever the case is. I think there could have been a flag thrown on the 3rd and 4 conversion late in the second half. So that stat could be a little bit higher, but not important. There's missed flags on both sides. It's not a ref thing. But the game just feels like it's at a perfect spot where you have a veteran quarterback as a young guy. And that's beautiful to see. Now, I have a bunch of stats listed that'll support this. And I want to give credit to those that do this because this isn't my thing. I'm not a huge stat guy all the time, so I want to give credit to our guy Cole Manbeck and D. Scott Fritchen. Both tossed a ton of stats on Twitter. And I'm going to rapid fire some at you for the next 60 seconds. And just as I'm saying this stuff, think about how unreal it is to have a quarterback in his 8th career start do what he's doing. And think about this. That's under a first-year play caller who hasn't, mind you, hasn't done this at North Dakota State, hasn't done this elsewhere. This is his first time as a play caller, and it's in Division I football on a top 25 team. Avery Johnson paired up with Connor Riley is resulting in these numbers. And I know that they've both been criticized a ton. Just listen to this. Sit back, kick your feet back, let's listen to this. From D. Scott Fritchen. K-State entered the night averaging 6.7 yards per play. Now it averages a whopping 6.86 yards per play. That ranks 14th best in the country. And it's also on pace to beat the 1998 offense for best in K-State history. That's incredible. Best in K-State history. That's what we're talking about through these amount of games. Cole Manbeck. Shout out to the guy over there at 3 Check out 3 They do great work. Avery Johnson now owns 4 of the top 10 quarterback rankings, QBR, in individual games in the Kleiman era. Skylar Thompson has 3 top 10 QBR games. Will Howard has 2, and Adrian Martinez has 1. Avery has 4, and he started 8 career games. Half of his career games played rank top 10 all-time in quarterback performance at Kansas State, from a QBR perspective. Keeping it moving, K-State's averaging 6.6 yards per play against FBS opponents this season. That ranks number 15 nationally and number 1 in the Big 12 Conference. The Wildcats are averaging 7.3 yards per play over the past 3 games, ranking number 6 in the country and number 2 among all Power 4 teams during that time frame. This is the offense we're talking about. Think about all this. Avery's got 4 completions of over 50 yards in the past 3 games. Last season we had 1. In the last 3 games, Avery's got 4. That's the beautiful thing we keep seeing. In Big 12 games, Avery ranks 3rd in pass efficiency rating with 146.74, 4th in passing yards with 1,067, 5th in completion percentage at 61.2%, and he's tied with Shedeur Sanders for 2nd in the league with 10 passing touchdowns. That's unbelievable. Shedeur slings the ball all over the field. The guy's constantly in the end zone. Avery Johnson's on pace with him right now. Last stat before we move on to this. Avery Johnson's quarterback rating, his QBR, of 96.5 at West Virginia was the best by a K-State starting quarterback on the road since Jake Waters posted 97.7 at Texas Tech in 2013. That being said, Waters only threw the football 9 times that game. Colin Klein recorded a 98.7 QBR at West Virginia in 2012. These are Kansas State legends, Kansas State icons. These are the dudes that Avery's already up there with in 8 games. That is insane to see. Under a first-year offensive coordinator who is calling plays and has been getting criticized by the fan base all season, the dude continues to get better, both Avery and Connor Riley, and it's a beautiful pairing that Chris Klieman identified correctly, said, this is the guy we go with, let's go from here. That's the beautiful thing you see about Avery. Every single week, Kansas State football finds another way to get better. And I don't think you, me, Chris Klieman, Avery Johnson, I don't think anybody's sitting here saying they've played their best game or that they've arrived. I think there's so many moments in the game where you see it and you're like, damn, this is sloppy. We got to do better here. We got to do better here. There is so much more for the taking for this football team, and that is the beautiful thing about Kansas State football. Let me move past Avery Johnson before I talk your ear off about it too much. Next thought, because I love DJ Giddens. This is incredible. The funniest thing that could have possibly happened was West Virginia selling their soul to stop DJ Giddens this game. Super quick break. If you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, 63% of the people watching this video right now are currently not subscribed to the YouTube channel, and feel free absolutely to ignore this and skip this, whatever the case is. But those of you that are watching right now and are unsubscribed, be sure and consider hitting that subscribe button if you love Kansas State, if you appreciate the channel. It's a great way to support me as I continue to grow on this journey, and it's also incredible to bring more K-State fans in like yourself on a consistent basis to see more of my K-State content. Once again, if you're in that 63% or if you're in the alternative in the 37%, I love and appreciate you. Back to the Cats. He has his best scoring day. No, it wasn't the best statistically. He had 57 yards. That's a season low for DJ. But he finds the end zone twice. He's found it 3 times all season. Now he's got 5 on the season. It's so funny to me. It makes perfect sense that the second they start harping in on DJ decides, you know what? I'm getting the end zone. Easy work. Let's go. And that's a large in part to the O-line. It's just the way things work out in football, but that's such a funny thing to see. So DJ Giddens finding a way to still show up in the stat sheet, even though they relatively bottled him up by having like 9 guys in the box, what felt like constantly. That was a big day for DJ, even though the stats may not line up to it. So shout out to the O-line, shout out to the offensive coordinator choosing, hey, we got to get DJ in the end zone. We can't just milk him the entire drive and then toss it to somebody else for the glory. Let's get DJ some dirty work here. And he went out and got it. So good stuff for DJ. Next thought. Marquis Siegel was incredible in this game. He had 9 total tackles, 2 of them for loss, and a pick 6. We all know the big play is going to get the highlights of the pick 6, but the guy constantly is making the right plays. And I know that our secondary hasn't been great at all times this season. They keep getting better each week. VJ Payne had a tough miss this week. I think Jordan Riley had one as well, but Marquise Siegel was everywhere. The football's somewhere, Siegel's out there. It's a run play, he's out there. It's a pass play, he's got his hands on the football. Marquise Siegel is playing all Big 12 level football, and we shouldn't turn a blind eye to that because the kid's a superstar and he deserves his flowers as a stud at the safety position in the Big 12 and in the country. I think there's also a point, and this is both offensively and defensively. Defense, you can make the case, teams throw it against us, they're going to find success. West Virginia tried that. They found some in the first half and they clamped down. Kansas State is a big momentum team. When they need the talking to from Chris Kleiman saying, we got to do better about this, this, and this, they get it. And then they embrace that role, they go out there and they complete it. What I'm starting to learn about Kansas State's offense, I'm not so sure there's a good attack strategy here. How do you beat Kansas State's offense? Okay, if we just stop the run and the pass, make Avery Johnson turn the football over and DJ Giddens fumble it, then we'll win. None of this stuff is going to happen consistently, and that's the crazy part you're seeing. You can try to bottle up the running game. West Virginia did a pretty damn good job of that, I will say. Then you get Dylan Edwards moving. Avery Johnson's picking you apart in the secondary because you have 8 guys in the box. And even then, DJ still finds the end zone twice. You can say, all right, we're going to sit back, we're going to let them rush. That might be the worst plan of all time, actually. But the point is, if you're an opposing defensive coordinator, how do you stop this team? All right, we need to sack Johnson 7 times this game and then not let DJ Giddens get more than 50 yards rushing. The thing about Kansas State is early on the game plan was load the box, don't let the rushing game attack beat you. It didn't work for anybody to stop us yet, but in this case, it was make Avery beat you as a thrower. He just showed you can't let him do that. Okay, well, we're going to make Avery make decisions. Is he going to run it? Is he going to pull it? You saw that against Arizona. Okay, you know what? We're going to focus on Johnson, not let him out of the pocket. He can't be the guy. All right, DJ Giddens will go for a $182 against you, Colorado style. This is the thing you keep seeing about Kansas State football, and it is a perfect spot to be in as we continue to develop. Last thought, and I want to give a shout out to my guy Joel Anderson for this one. Shout out Joel, good dude. Joel tweeted something about his post-game thoughts, and I thought he summed it up perfectly. Joel said this team is clicking. They're on a buzz. They're rolling. They're moving, but they're not peaking. We are clicking but not peaking. That's what you want to see, and I don't think we're anywhere near that peak. You're continuing to play good football. You have flashes. We have not played a consistent 60 minutes of football yet. I don't know that we ever will, folks. I don't know that you ever get a consistent, this game was perfect, everybody did everything. That's just the nature of the beast. But it's beautiful to see that it's not a, okay, we're peaked, we're 6-1, we're not going to have to do this, this, and this. And then you slip up. You have a letdown. You have a, all right, we're back to normal. That's not the way it goes. K-State still has so much to build on, and that's the thing you want. I mean, if you're Chris Kleiman, you want things to harp on. Hey, we saw Garrett Green get out of the pocket, make some plays with his legs. We can't let that happen with Jalen Daniels. Hey, we saw this, this, and this in the passing game. What do we need to do here? The rushing game didn't get great. O-line, you got to push. There are always things to harp on, and that's what you want to see. But overall, heck of a week. Incredible thing to see for Avery and the boys, and this team continues to get better. It's been a joy. It's been a pleasure to watch, and I know we're going to be in it till the very end of the season. But guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all the support and love we've gotten on the channel. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Go Cats.